Hello everyone, this is Fantasy-esque, and welcome back to the Vampire Amazon Challenge in The Sims 4. We are following the reign of Queen Darling Cloudy Snarl, who has recently emerged victor in her final vampiric tournament. It has been an age, but the end of Darling's reign has finally come. It all started with a dream from her bloodline deity Cloudy Snarl, and this queen of vampires established a queendom for her people. Now the ladies of her court gather for one last day with her as their monarch, saying their goodbyes and getting their affairs in order for the next generation of vampire Amazons. We are picking up at 12 p.m. on Tuesday. It is, like I said, the final day of our court being under the rule of Queen Darling. I want to check out some of the whims that our ladies have so that we can get a better understanding of how they are feeling now that everything is kind of coming to an end and we're getting ready to head into the next generation. Because the court is splitting, half of them will be leaving this castle behind and having brand new lives away from the influence of some characters that they have known pretty much their entire existence here in the court. So let's start off with Crown Princess Nimue. She wants to ask Lord Consort Yorick about his day. So let's see where he's at. Oh, he just crossed. Okay, Yorick. We're gonna grab your attention real quick. Discuss feelings about court children. Okay, I think this would be a conversation that Nimue is having with Yorick. Oh, come on. Well, we might as well gossip about neighbors, but I'm going to continue with that train of thought that I initially had. Are you okay? There we go. Oh wait, no, that's completely not what she wants. We need to ask him about his day. Let's ask him about his day. That would be under small talk. Yeah, we're going to ask about his day, but continuing with my previous train of thought, I think Nimue would be a little bit nervous about Yorick's feelings regarding her decision not to have any children. Obviously, she has thought this through on her end, but she might only now be realizing that Yorick's feelings on the matter might be a little bit different to hers, because within their society, a lot of the status that males have is tied to the status of their daughters and the female members of their families, so like their wives. And yes, he might have prestige as a Lord Consort because his wife is the queen, but really the thing that males feel the most pride over are their daughters. And if he has none, then his potential as a breeding male hasn't fully been realized. And this isn't something that they've really talked about. Nimue kind of made a decision and Yorick has been going along with it, but she's kind of curious to know what's on his mind. Okay, and apparently Nimue and Yorick have a jokester dynamic, which is kind of nice. This might be a good way, if she's communicating with him, to break the ice a little bit more. Up until this point, it has been quite one-sided, but this will be good in the future. And I could see him falling in love with her if this is how she chooses to approach their relationship, being different to her mother in a way. I feel like this is something Queen Darling never really understood when it came to her partners, is that she bulldozed them in a way. She didn't really consider their opinions worthy of thought. She usually made decisions and they kind of followed. And she was largely oblivious to their thinking. But Nimue, it seems as though, wants to do things differently. Already, she's not seeing her husband as a tool to be used for breeding. She's married to him and wants to see this marriage through because she genuinely has feelings for him and likes him. So that's kind of nice. Let's see. Lady Vladislav wants to dance to stereo music. So let's go here and see if we can change station. Is it any stereo music? I think so. It would, yeah, okay. It's not any specific music she wants to listen to. So let's listen deeply. Lady Vladislav is definitely feeling very, very excited to be going into the next generation. Very excited because I think she has already caused some chaos in this one towards the end with Zorro, and she's gotten away with it. So she's been testing her boundaries And I think she wants to see how much more she can push the envelope under the next queen. Because she doesn't think very highly of Nimue, and she can kind of see that Nimue doesn't want to get involved. She might not be oblivious, but she doesn't want to take part, and so she might ignore certain things that happen to the next generation. I don't think Vladislav believes that Nimue has the guts to call a judgment on her. That's my read on Vladislav. So I think she's feeling really, really thrilled and excited. Lady Caleb, meanwhile, wants to cook a meal, and I think this is her way of reminiscing. She did make some banana pudding, but let's go and see if we can make something else. Let's see, what else can we make that might be fun? Hold on a second. Let's take a look. Why don't we make some baked mac and cheese? She's gonna do that. But this is going to be her way of reminiscing the good times of when the kids were young. Past couple of episodes, we have kind of seen her cooking things because she's been upset over the death of the youngsters, and out of sorrow, she's been trying to reconnect with the younger days. But I think this time around, she is looking at it with a positive note, and in a way, celebrating their memories in this kitchen one last time. This is the final time she's going to be cooking in this kitchen. So that's, I think, very sweet of her, because this is something she's doing for the sake of memory. I mean, none of these vampires can really eat any of this. Maybe the acolytes will. But, oh, that looks so nice. That looks so yummy. Okay, so Caleb, she's doing her own little thing. Lilith, I swear I had something for you, but apparently we don't. She wants to invite a sim over. I'm gonna interpret that as her inviting maybe Lady Pierce over. So let's see if we can invite her to come visit us. Maybe Lilith feels as though Lady Pierce shouldn't be alone in the female faculty since she is coming over to the next generation. She is gonna come to the new castle. I'm just gonna teleport over. Maybe Lady Pierce should be here to mingle with everyone. Mingle with Lady Akira and mingle with Queen Darling. Both of whom are going to retire in this castle and live in this castle. So where is she? Lady Pierce Plumraven. Excellent. You stay here, you mingle with everyone else. Lady Akira, meanwhile, she's already at the chess table and she wants to win a game of chess. So let's see who she's maybe the most concerned about. Let's see. Well, no surprise, it is Yorick. So I'm actually going to get her to play chess with Yorick. His joining? His joining? I'm so sorry. I think I canceled that. No, come join. Come play with us. Now with Akira and Yorick, she has a lot of bad blood with him. It is wild if you think of their journey because he was her favorite out of the young males for a long time. At one point, she wanted Yorick to be her son-in-law. Things didn't work out that way. She got bitter after her daughter's death. But I think Akira is wanting to warn Yorick not to, not to push himself with Nimue in his marriage, because Akira opposes their union, and she opposes it because she thinks that she is doing Nimue a favor and allowing Nimue the freedom that Nimue wants by encouraging the dissolving of this, right? She does not think that a marriage is something Nimue wants because Nimue has declared she doesn't want children. And what use is a marriage within this society if you're not having children? That's the whole purpose of it. So Akira thinks she's doing Nimue a favor. She obviously is quite oblivious to Nimue's true feelings, and I think Yorick does not like her interference, so he has reacted very badly to it. He doesn't think it is Akira's place to interfere in his relationship with Nimue if Nimue doesn't have a problem with it, and his actual mother-in-law, Queen Darling, doesn't have a problem with it either. He feels as though, even though Akira is a counselor, she's a bit of an outsider and has no place, like, meddling with any of that. But Akira tried to do what she thought was best for Nimue. This wasn't done from a scheming or greedy point of view. No, she was just trying to do good, because we did discuss this in the wedding episode. Now that her daughter has died, Akira is thinking of how much she pushed her daughter Zuleika to get married to Prince Zara when Zuleika didn't want to. She started seeing Nimue as her daughter a little bit. I mean, Nimue is the last daughter of the entire court, if you think about it in that context. And so Akira is trying to do for Nimue what she could never do for her daughter Zuleika. And this is what is motivating her to kind of speak out in this way. But okay, we have gone through what all of the ladies are thinking at this point in time. I am going to get them all changed in their formal dresses, and then guys, we are going to get the succession started. After getting their affairs in order, the court gathered in the throne room to witness the royal succession. According to vampiric custom, the oldest surviving daughter of the queen inherited the throne, and after the death of two princesses, the title of crown princess now belonged to Nimue. And so she was called to present herself before Queen Darling. A shiver of nervousness passed through Nimue as she gazed at her mother and the throne behind her. Her golden circlet was the same, but now it would bear the weight of a crown. Her husband, Lord Consort Yorick, watched from the sidelines. Darling ordered the councillors to rise and to stand in welcome to the heiress. She herself took a position by the throne and gestured for Nimue to come forward and claim her birthright. After retaliating against this her whole life, Nimue was now the very center of court. She was the one destined to hold everything together, or to watch it all fall apart. It was as though some force had been pushing her towards this from birth, a birth that had occurred in drastic circumstances, and was seen as an omen. People had said from the day she was born that she had a great destiny. What she dismissed in her youth now seemed true. Nimue looked to her mother and gave the smallest nod. She was ready. Queen Darling declared her abdication and the crowning of a new monarch. "Behold," she said, "the new ruler of vampires, Queen Nimue Cloudy Snarl." Before we end the episode, I do want to go over a few things. Now that Nimue is queen, she has her own preparations that need to be made. Darling, now referred to as Queen Mother, will remain in this castle with Lady Akira in retirement. A new castle called Nimue Castle will be constructed for the new court, which will consist of Queen Nimue, Lady Lilith, Lady Caleb, Lady Vladislaw, and Lady Pierce. A new female vampire will also be made as the caretaker for the next generation. We will be making copies of the betrothal and wedding portraits of Nimue and Yorick for the new castle, along with copies of all the paintings in the gallery. We will also take the portraits of our retired legends to go in the Hall of Legends, which will be constructed in the next generation. The remains of the deceased vampires will be left in the crypts here, and new ones will be made for the next generation of vampires. In regard to the males, all members of the male faculty will remain here except for Lord Consort Yorick, who will establish his own faculty in the new castle. In terms of what I've got planned after this, I do have a few things already on my plate. There will be one more video coming out in this playlist where we go over the family trees in my Excel spreadsheets, and that will be the end of Generation 1. I can't tell you for sure how long of a wait we'll have from now to Generation 2, because I'm going to be recording Season 2 of Vampire Clan in Clangen. Once I finished that, then I'll begin constructing the Nimue Castle and setting up for Gen 2. And finally, I just want to say a huge thank you to everyone who's been watching and supporting the series. It was so heartwarming to see all of you lovelies writing your comments in every episode and getting so involved with all the characters and their stories. We got this whole generation done in 8 weeks, and a large part of that was because your involvement kept me motivated and excited to play my vampires. So tell me, how did you feel about Generation 1 of our new Vampire Amazon series? We played with a bunch of new rules and it was stylistically different from what we've seen in the past. Personally, I really enjoyed it and it surprised me in unexpected ways at every turn. The difference from the old way we used to do things was quite refreshing. Did you have a favorite character in the series? My favorite was Crown Princess Zara. I only realized how much I liked her after she died, but not only did she have an interesting look, her mean personality and the fact she was a twin made everything about her life so intriguing. I literally did not know her next move, and so I was always anticipating what she was going to do. Her death was also the most shocking for me, because it was the first one we had amongst the children. What was your favorite part of the story? Mine was the unexpected revelation that Princess Nydia was pulling the strings behind the scenes and plotting her sister's downfall, only to be given divine judgment after 2 days. The whole thing was honestly so shocking. And now we come to an end. I'm going to wrap up here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.